Hello everyone, let's just talk and you will find out a lot of interesting things because I'm gonna share some secrets, so-called secrets, simply things that I have learned, and I want to talk about my guitar effects that I am using with my synthesizers, and here is one of them. And by the way, Mini Freak has some built-in effects, but I still rather use these here. And now I'm gonna tell you why and what is it and why have I chosen these effects and why you should consider buying some effects. First of all, in my opinion at least, and maybe some people as well, synthesizers without effects sound really bad. Not always, of course, yeah. But if there are some effects, synthesizers can sound really nice. And this is why you need at least some guitar effects if you cannot afford other equipment, which is quite expensive. I'm gonna tell you like this: I'd rather have one synthesizer and many effects than 10,000 synthesizers. Okay, and many people think that guitar effects are only for guitars, but it's not true. And this is quite popular now on YouTube as well to use some effects. That's why I want to talk about some of my effects now. Okay, where do we start? Maybe with equalizers. These were very cheap. This is Harley Benton. It's basically a Thomann company, or sub company or something like that. 20 euros, which is equivalent of about $20 or pounds for each. These are fairly cheap. Nice equalizers. The deep has different, both have different frequencies. And the deep is, I would say, interesting for a kick as well. It's deeper. The lowest frequency is 62.5 hertz. This one has 100. I would say you can use these effects on everything really, but I would use that one with a kick and maybe that one with bass. And definitely you should learn how to cut more than boost. And if you cut, you can push the volume up. Usually cut what you would want to boost and then add more power with the knob so it won't hit too hard your microphone preamps. There won't be too much distortion. I would also say that these two saturate on their own. If you push higher, these sound quite fat, and it's a different experience with analog equalizer than a VST plugin. So definitely worth buying, especially because these are very cheap. Yeah, the highest frequency is 4. There are better equalizers, of course, but these are quite dirty, and I like it. Yeah, dirty and cheap. Maybe for some lo-fi sounds. Okay, and you want to use them, of course, in front or after any other effects. Okay, then most probably the most that's the most loved guitar effect that I have bought. This is a Proco Rat clone. It's Electro Harmonix flat iron fuzz. Actually, it's the first effect that I have bought, and it sounds great on anything. some people I have already recommended buying one to some people, and they are really happy and very surprised how good it sounds. It sounds great on percussions as well, on bass or any kind of synthesizer sounds. How you would want to use it, how you should use it. Well, my battery is going low, but anyway, I will keep recording. So how I use it usually is I use very little drive, and I can dial in, get rid of some harshness with the filter. Yeah, I think it's a low pass filter, or I'm not sure, but anyway, it's a simple filter, and you can dial in. If you go to the left, you can hear more bass. If you go to the right, you can hear more higher frequencies. Yeah. And like I said, I use a very little drive usually, but sometimes I turn it to the bass, I turn it all the way up, and I play around with another guitar pedal. Or I do it the other way around. I keep the first one on the bass, if the signal would be going from the right side, yeah, from right to the left. I keep this one on the bass. Here is tone knob. Let's maybe do it like that. Then I drive it really hard, and that goes into the next pedal. Sorry for my camera, it's just my iPhone. And then you can play around with both of these and dial in to your taste. There are many Procorat clones. This is one of them. It's fairly cheap, about 70 euros or something like that, maybe 80. It's more or less the same price in dollars and UK pounds. This one was even cheaper. This is Ibanez Overdrive clone. It's more gentle, it sounds very nice, and these two pedals is what I really like to use together. And first of all, I like that graphics, yeah. New York. By the way, shame that Electro Harmonics decided to get rid of the New York writing. New York City, USA. A really shame, but whatever. Another saturation pedal, because these two are saturation pedals, yeah, it's Ampeg. It's actually emulation of a huge guitar amp, bass preamp. It's a clean amp, yeah. The original one has tubes inside. This one obviously doesn't, because it's quite small, but it sounds really great on bass. And again, you can use these two in parallel, just like I was describing before. I really like it. It's really nice on bass. You can use it on any kind of sounds, really. And it's nice if you use two, and maybe even an equalizer in front, in between, or after these effects. That's how you should be doing it. Also with plugins, just try it out. So okay, so these three pedals are saturation pedals. Those three. Here are equalizers. Now let's move to some more interesting effects. Well, all of them are interesting, but let's talk about this one for now. Boss Slicer. I would call it like I would describe it as a rhythmic filter. It can do a lot, like tremolo effects, some kind of flanging, phasing, and it's rhythmic, and it has MIDI cable as well. I was using it with MiniFreak most of the time, and you can synchronize the tempo. What else can I say about it? It's not very cheap, but it's very nice, and I highly recommend to watch some demos of it. There are quite a few videos on YouTube. If you have money, if you can afford it, it's really interesting effect, and it does some panning effects as well, kind of ping pong-ish, delay-ish effects, yeah, and this is really cool. It's really nice, and of course MIDI is a huge advantage of that pedal. There's also USB, so you can choose many different patterns, and there are a lot. Single, dual, tremolo, harmonics, FX, and each of these has another choice of 8 different patterns, and you can upload some using USB. There is a special app for it. Very nice pedal. Now let's talk about my reverb. There are lots of reverbs. This is a dual reverb. Here is reverb A, reverb B. Here are some effects like resonant, poly, shimmer. Shimmer reverb is actually what you're after. This is a great alternative to Strymon Blue Sky, however you pronounce it. Sounds really nice. There are lots of effects, quite a few parameters. It's not that expensive. It's about 200 euros. Oh, by the way, this one as well. 180 euros. This one was 230 euros, I think. You can save presets here as well. Shimmer reverb is really beautiful. If you're looking for some atmospheric sounds, there is also reverse reverb. There are some classical reverbs from Marshall cabinets. Here is simply a choice of very rich choice of reverbs. Also, I can recommend watching some demos. Well, I cannot actually record some demos because I have only my iPhone, yeah. So, but you can find nice demos on Electro Harmonics sites, or even Boss Slicer as well. Boss site, YouTube channel, I mean. It's this one is stereo in, stereo out. Lots of settings here. I'm not gonna talk about it. It's a really nice sounding pedal, reverb, and it's a lot cheaper than other equipment, yeah. I really love it. Then my latest buy, I just bought it recently, a couple of days ago. This is Roland Juno Chorus Clone. Not a lot to talk about the settings here, but yeah, it's only mono input, yeah, but it can turn any. I was playing around with MiniFreak on it. MiniFreak goes in mono and stereo out. I had to figure out a connection like this one here. So it's like that cable. That's how I was connecting it, and it sounds really nice. I can tell you one thing about it, quite important thing about it. It's gonna give you lo-fi sounds, it's gonna give you 80s sounds, it's gonna give you modern sounds, it's gonna give you some nice analog, because it's analog, sound of the chorus. It's bucket brigade, so-called bucket brigade circuitry. It's fully analog, sounds beautiful, I really love it, and it's not that expensive. It's actually Behringer, but their company called TC Electronics, and that's the second version. There are some settings inside, you have to unscrew it. It looks really nice. There are some wooden sides, yeah. Looks really nice, I really love it. Sounds great with Minifreak, seriously. And it sounds great, for example, before the reverb, yeah. And how would you generally want to use these effects? First of all, you want some saturation on your effects. Try to record your synthesizers so they go separately as a dry signal and separately with effects, and always add some saturation or equalizer to your effects, because it's gonna have sound differently, and sound is going to move in different frequencies, and it's going to simply enrich your synthesizer sound. Okay, so I have to finish because my battery is nearly gone, but I think I have said everything what's quite important to know also about making your synthesizers sound really nice and fat. If you have any questions, simply ask. I'm here to help. I have no secrets. I can say everything what you want to know about making great sounds. Whether it's we talk about plugins or analog equipment, I can help you achieve that. So thank you for watching. I wish you have a nice day or maybe evening, depending on where you are. Also check my links. I have some groups on Facebook. Also on Facebook, on Instagram, you can follow me. I always share some interesting stuff that will help you in making music. No BS, so to speak. I get straight to the point. You can hear some of my effects on my short videos. It's not the best recording, of course, but you can hear what they do, what these effects do. And I really recommend using some effects with synthesizers. If you don't have any, don't look at the next synthesizer, look at buying some effects. This will help you definitely, and it's a lot more fun, seriously. So once again, thank you for watching, and till the next time, bye.